All right. All right. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you showing up today. And we've got on deck today is our Chat GPT. We're going to talk about advanced tools and integration. But before we do that, we are going to hear a little bit from Aaron Neubauer, our success lending guru, about about the market and what's been going on, what we might be able to expect.
Yeah, hey, appreciate the time here. So this, at the end of last week and this week, rates took a little bit of a hit. They've ticked up a little bit, so you're gonna want to make sure you stay in front of your loan officer in case your pre-approval might have changed a little bit. Right now, you can still get stuff in the sixes. There just might be anywhere from a small buy down to a substantial one, depending on your loan amount. And qualifications, but we're still kind of in the high sixes, low fours from an interest rate standpoint. I have not seen any changes on any other front as it pertains to different products or any movement, in today's market as it pertains to settlements and things of that nature. So all in all, not a whole lot to report this week.
Okay.
All
Hey,
right.
Aaron, real quick, on our call this morning is Deb O'Connor, and her husband just joined EXP a few weeks back.
Nice. Well, welcome.
Yeah, so I'd love to connect the two of you. Deb, maybe you can put your email in the chat, and Aaron, I know you're driving. If for some reason you're not able to copy that down, Aaron, or whatever, we'll get it to you. But I'd love for you guys to connect because Success Lending does some amazing things for, anybody, any of their clients, no matter what brokerage the agent is working with, but especially for EXP, because they're owned by EXP. They'll go above and beyond to get the business. So you'll probably want to just kind of know a little bit more about that. So
thanks, Cal.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
So we are going to dive right into this. We've got a full hour, and after our last two classes, I realized I might have put a little too much content into everything that went into it and not be able to get through. So without further ado, I'm going to share a couple of screens here. And let's see. Let's try this one. And so what do you guys, you see two screens? Okay, let me try that again. Cal, you're muted.
I said that you got this fancy schmancy little multi-screen thing for your laptop, so you have like 3 screens, but now it's kind of messing up your screen share stuff.
Why am I not able to do this? Oh, hold on just 1 second. Sorry. Having issues with this thing. Let me just try this. And then go back to here. Sorry, kids, I'll get this in a minute. There we go.
Okay, Chat GPT screen.
Okay, perfect. So if I do this, then do you see the homework screen? Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to review your homework from last week and see how everybody did. Did anybody get a chance to do any of the prompts for the custom newsletters? This one that you got last week was developing 100 content ideas. Nobody? Nobody? All right, so believe me, it works. It's a great thing. If you don't have the prompt, copy and paste it. If you don't have time, because I'm gonna get off of this screen, then I will send it to you. Anybody with your ChatGPT or your AI work from last week, anybody have any questions on what you did or why you did it or what kind of results you got? Okay, I should have put more content in this week because we might go through it in 10 minutes. So for this class, we're going to assume that you've trained ChatGPT on your business and your tone style of speaking, like we talked about in the first class. So all of the information that we get out of the prompts that we're going to use today are pertaining to our they're pertaining to our business, mine and Kelly's business. So it knows how we speak, it knows who we are in our business. The other thing as I was going through this class, it is called Advanced Tools and Integration with ChatGPT. But I really want you to, there's no Staples easy button, right? And it's an intelligence, it's an artificial intelligence and a tech world that is going to evolve so quickly that it's going to change on a weekly basis. And there is so much to learn, and we only have a finite amount of time. So I would recommend that we stick to the basics because there's so much that doesn't apply to our business. Just stick with what works. And right now we're going to go through some of the things that you can do. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is that, can you see the new screen? It says Beyond the Basics. Okay. So we're going to go a little bit beyond the basics and we're going to talk about advanced tools. We're going to just give you like a 10,000 foot overview, and we're going to start out with advanced prompt engineering. That sounds like a techie guy's way of saying, here's how to make some really cool prompts and to add on to them. But what I want to show you is you can take one idea, right? And I want to show you how you can build on that one idea, because we all can use this in our real estate business and we all really need this. And the thing that ChatGPT does the best is help us build content. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about building multi-part prompts. And we talked about these, and like I said, I want to show you how they work. So I have a prompt that asks ChatGPT to first outline a blog post. So I want it to write me a blog post, but give me an outline. And the title or the topic is Future of Smart Homes. Okay. So I'm going to, sorry, just hold on a second. Just deleted what I was going to do. I'm going to go back to my ChatGPT screen, which I hope you all can see. I'm going to paste in this prompt. And basically what it says is, using what I've learned about Domaille real estate as well as our speaking style from above, I want you to act as a content writer who's very proficient in SEO. Write an outline for a blog by analyzing the attached photo of a smart home. So what we're going to do is I'm going to supply ChatGPT with a photograph. I'm going to ask it to analyze the photograph and write me a blog outline from that photograph. Okay. Include 8 headings. Please make it 100% unique, SEO optimized, human written blog outline in English that covers the topic. Write it in your own words rather than copying and pasting. Write it at a 12th grade reading level. Consider the perplexity and burstiness when creating content. Ensure high levels of both without losing specificity or context. Write it in a conversational style as written by a human. Use an informal tone. Utilize personal pronouns. Keep it simple. Engage the reader. Use active voice. Keep it brief. Use rhetorical questions and incorporate analogies and metaphors. Now, as you read this prompt, it's very detailed, right? So we are in the third class, and it's an advanced class. So as you go through these prompts, you can, or as you go through and play with ChatGPT, you can start writing basic prompts. And if you just ask ChatGPT how to create better prompts, it'll tell you, right? It'll tell you what to put in. It'll tell you some of the verbiage to use. You just tell it what you're looking for. Actually, just ask it to write you its own prompt for what you're looking for, and it'll do that. Okay. So here's what we're going to get. And I've put in the topic. Where is the topic here? Yeah, so I'm going to add the picture of the smart home, and it happens to be right here. So it's going to analyze this smart home picture, and it's going to come up with a blog outline. Pretty simple, especially when you're asking ChatGPT to do it. So here's, I don't know if you can see this picture very well, but it's just a picture of like a smart home house. It's sitting on a phone. It's got different things. It says the future is here, smart home automation. So here's ChatGPT. It's working on the outline. As it's working on the outline, we'll just kind of let it go real quick. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to pretend that I have somebody that's a tech expert in the field of smart homes, okay? And I don't know what questions to ask this person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask ChatGPT to look at the blog outline that it's created about the smart homes and come up with 5 questions people would like to know the answers to that I could ask if I was interviewing an expert in the field of smart homes. So as soon as this gets done, we'll now add that prompt in and come up with 5 questions that you could ask if you were doing an interview of somebody. And even if you weren't, it comes up with 5 questions that you could ask an expert. And then what you could do is take those questions and put them back into ChatGPT and get the answers, right? So your expert that you're interviewing could be ChatGPT. So here's the whole outline.
It looks like it's giving you some FAQs at the bottom already.
It does. It does, but we're gonna ask it some more and expand on it. And the whole purpose of doing this is just expanding on one thing, one idea that you have. And that's really all you have to do is come up with an idea. And I'm gonna try to show you, it's probably gonna time out here, but I'm gonna try to show you how you can get a bunch of different things off of just one idea, okay? And this one idea today happened to be just a photo. So it looks like it has locked up, which is okay. So I'm just going to reload this because it's not going to do anything. Sometimes it does it in the morning. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so I will go back to here where we just created the outline as soon as it gets done. There we go. Okay, so here's my second prompt. So I want it to create the 5 questions. So you could do that and come up with 5 quick questions. The next thing I'm going to do after it does that is I'm going to ask it to create a video script from the picture. Okay. And I want the video script to target home buyers and why they should consider smart home devices and list all the advantages. And I'm going to also ask ChatGPT to put a call to action in the video script that says, for more information, call or text us at our phone number and our email address. I'm going to have it add some specific hashtags as well and write it at a 12th grade reading level. So you can see as we go back here, it came up with 5 different questions. And like the first one, what's the most common misconception homeowners have about integrating smart home technology and how do you address it? The question opens the door to the expert to debunk myths and offers insight into the ease of adopting a smart home tech. So it gives you some great questions to ask. And like I said, you could take these questions, and if you don't have an expert sitting in front of it, you could put it back into ChatGPT and it'll answer the question for you. And the whole purpose of all of what we're doing right now is just to create different types of content, okay, off of one idea. And that's really all we have to do in this whole scenario is create the ideas. So here is the video. It's got an opening scene. It's got a voiceover. It gives you ideas to cut to a smiling host standing in the smart home living room. It gives you ideas for pictures to put in a video or small little video clips. And then it's got verbiage. Hey there, future homeowners. Today we're diving into the intelligent world of smart home devices. Why should you consider them for your next home? Let's find out. So you have an entire video script that's written for you. You could even go one step further here and ask ChatGPT to create with Domaille, the image generator, to create these images and visuals and give you ideas of where you can find videos on YouTube that would fit inside this video script. So it could almost do the whole thing for you. So here's for more information and our call to action. Don't forget to follow our journey on social media, join the conversation. So how cool is that? Just from a photo, you can create a blog outline so far. You can create a video script. You can generate questions. Here's another one that I think is good. Let's say you want to do an email newsletter campaign. So if we want to do that and provide information about smart homes to your clients on a monthly basis through an email newsletter campaign, you can have it create a 12-month email newsletter calendar from the blog outline that it created from that picture. So here's another prompt that we're going to do that with, and it's going to come up with a 12-month calendar for an email newsletter campaign just about smart homes. And it tells you like month 1, introduction to smart homes, the subject, welcome to your smart home journey, the content highlights, brief overview of smart home technology and its benefits. So when you get this newsletter outline, you could take this first one for month 1 and you can have ChatGPT expand on it and create you the entire newsletter. Okay. So with your one idea, you're asking ChatGPT to create 12 more for the entire year. And then you just expand on it and ask it to basically create the email or the newsletter for you. And you're letting ChatGPT be the creative protocol here for your business. And you're looking at, your clients will look at you as the absolute market expert in this area. Okay. And so it comes up with all 12 months, and there you go. Any questions or comments on this? It was all from one photograph that we put in there. How cool is that?
I have just a comment. I really think this is very cool. I was thinking about if you're really trying to create a niche. So, Mercedes, you're on here this morning. You and I have talked in the past about, obviously the fact that you speak different language, right? Not everybody is bilingual, or we have had Barb from Arizona has been on here from time to time. Her niche is divorce, so could you take this and just create a whole year's worth of content and get very specific and just really develop a niche? Like, I really see that this is a huge tool for that.
Yeah,
And you can do it in minutes.
absolutely. And it saves you time. I mean, you're getting back your time, which is the whole point of doing something, is that you don't want to waste more time. We waste enough time in our real estate business. So what I want you to do is just take a screenshot of this right now. It's the ChatGPT prompt formula. This will really help you develop good prompts. And so what you want is, you want some context, you want a task, you want instruction, you want to clarify, and then you want to refine the prompt at the end. So these colors correlate with the colors that the verbiage is underlined in, okay? And so take this back, play with it. I think it's really good for you to be able to use it as you're playing through this ChatGPT. So the next is, we're just going to go through a bunch of things that you can do. You can summarize MLS data with the integration with your real estate tools. So we're going to talk about the MLS data real quick. You can take MLS data and create client-friendly reports. You can create emails. A couple of the cool things with all the MLS detail that we have is you can analyze neighborhood searches that you do, and you can ask ChatGPT to summarize data points. So let's say you had a search and you had 5 houses there, and you wanted it to analyze the data points of like price per square foot. It will go in and look at all that information, and then it will give you an outline or a summary of which house it thinks is better, or the best affordable house based on the price per square foot. You can do that for any data point that you have information from for your MLS. The other neat thing that it could do is, let's say you had a bunch of MLS data sheets, and you wanted to, and one was you were doing like a CMA for a house, and you wanted to find out how your client's home stacked up against the comparables. You could put those MLS data sheets into ChatGPT. You could have it analyze that information, and you could figure out how your client's home stacks up against the competition. Okay. The nice thing is, it quickly positions you as the market expert, and you can start assisting your clients in making data-driven decisions, because you've got it right in front of you immediately, right? So another integration would be with a CRM system. You'd be able to populate your clients' notes in there. You could analyze your leads based on their interaction level, and their interest in where they are in the process. And you can also have AI suggest the next best action for each lead, like sending a specific property suggestion to hot leads, right? And it could take the information that the client's looking for and narrow that down and get very specific on the information that it sends them. Now you'll find out that most CRMs and MLSs already have some form of AI integrated into them. We just need to find it, figure out how it works, and then start using it to enhance the client-facing appearance for us as real estate experts, right? Because the more we dive into AI and be able to use it, the quicker it's going to be for us to jump ahead of the competition. And we all know that there's a lot of white noise in real estate out there where people just kind of pass over it. So somehow you've got to dive in and you've got to figure out how you're going to stand out from the crowd. AI is going to be here. AI is going to massively explode over the next few months and few years. And we'll get to that a little bit later with a graphic, and you'll just see kind of where it's going. So I would just say, you know, you need to really embrace AI right now, play with it every day, pretend it's part of your life, and just get it going. So the next slide is integration with your website. We talked a little bit about AI-driven chat bots. They can answer common questions from clients. You can even set them up to book appointments. They can qualify leads, right? So the predictive analytics for lead scoring that AI has built into it with their algorithms can analyze the user behavior, and it'll predict which leads are most likely to convert, right? So it's your own best guesstimate that you've created with your AI chatbot, of who you should contact first and how you should contact them, because they're more likely to convert. Okay, so it saves you time there. You can give personal property recommendations. So let's say a client inquires about a pet-friendly property. The chatbot could actually go out and search and provide available listings to that client for pet-friendly properties. Okay. Another thing that that AI could do for your website is you can take all of your verbiage on there, you know, like the information about you or how you say things in your descriptions. You can rewrite that in ChatGPT in your own tone and style of speaking. And then everything on your website will sound like you when people read it. You could also have automated property valuations that are AI driven on your website. You could create virtual property tours with AI. Language translation, you can have AI do that as well. And you can have AI read your website from time to time and optimize it or suggest optimization for your SEO. Okay, so it does a lot more than just create ideas. So speaking of language translation and international clients, you can overcome the language barrier in real estate with AI. You can utilize ChatGPT's language translation capabilities to communicate with non-English speaking clients, right? It can convert property listings and contracts into the client's language. So it makes it very easy to communicate with them. It helps you translate, it helps you expand your market reach, and gives you the opportunity to build rapport with a diverse client base that is non-English speaking, if that is your potential niche market, right? Or if you do some international business. We all have, especially in our area, we've got a lot of cultural diversity. We've got a lot of people whose first language is not English, and it's just easier for them to understand in their native language. So we can help them with that, and AI can help us do that for them. We can tailor content and communications for different cultures. We can adapt our messaging and marketing materials to really follow the cultural norms and preferences of where they're from. You could take a marketing campaign for an overseas property and you could suit it to your targeted people or targeted culture, right? so that it makes sense to them and they can read it in their language and they can see everything that you're trying to market for this property as an example. Any questions on this so far? So let's get into voice software. So we talked about this I think in our last class, there's a AI called 11labs.io. There's also similar tools out there like that, but what they're able to do is they're able to create synthetic voices that can be used in various types of content. Okay. So let's take an application like training videos. If you run a team, and this could be for like Bob runs a great team up in the metro area, and if he wanted to create a bunch of training videos for his new hires and just wanted them, instead of having to sit down one-on-one, and he could just plow them through a whole bunch of videos that he created, he doesn't even have to do them. He just has to come up with the script, right? So you could have voice narrated training just from a script where the AI would be a person that could look like Bob or sound like Bob reading this script and going through the training. You could be one step ahead by creating a probable FAQ list with answers for trainees. So based on what you're talking about, like if you were going over, let's say, the agency form, right? You could come up with FAQs that you think are going to come up when somebody's watching that video, and you can answer them at the end, so you can get ahead of the curve with starting to answer questions that people might have. Okay, so from a training standpoint, this could be huge. From a property descriptions standpoint, you could type your property description in, and you could create, or you could record your own voice, and it'll synthesize your voice, and you could create your own avatar. It will read the property description in your own voice and your tone and your speaking style. Okay. You could do that for voiceovers for social media. You can engage followers on the platform like Instagram and Facebook with your consistent brand voice and tone and style. Okay, that makes sense? You can also take it one step farther. You could do mass texting. You could schedule and send out voice messages to your clients for updates or greetings, and those messages could be voice messages or video messages of your created avatar speaking in your voice. And the voices have gotten so good that some of these voice narrations, you can't even tell that they're AI driven. You would put one up against me, and it's very hard to tell the difference. Okay. Any questions or comments on that so far? So let's get into a little ethical use of AI. It's not the Wild West, right? AI is not 100% perfect. So I am here to implore you that anything and everything you create and all the output that you get, that you review, okay? Because some of it could be wrong, some of it could be biased, some of it could violate our real estate advertising laws. So you need to make sure of a handful of things. You've got to make sure that the client's privacy is always top of mind for you, and you need to handle any sensitive information responsibly. Don't go putting sensitive information into ChatGPT that you learned about a client, because it does, contrary to popular belief, it it learns. It's like Alexa, right? If you tell Alexa something, it's going to remember. ChatGPT remembers even if you delete the conversation. So that's how it learns, right? It learns from everything and anything that anybody puts into it. You need to make sure that what you're putting in front of people, if it comes from ChatGPT or any other AI platform, is adhering to all your real estate advertising laws in your specific state. You need to make sure also that you don't have that it doesn't promote any bias, right? We can't do any blockbusting. We can't have any neighborhood or property type bias. We can't have any discrimination or stereotypes. So, and I've noticed some of this when I create some things in ChatGPT that I have to tweak the verbiage. It's not blatant. So let's say there was a little stereotype or discrimination in the output. It's not massively blatant, but it's enough that somebody could point you out and you'd probably lose in arbitration. So you don't ever want to get to that point. So just read it, make sure that you know what you're putting out, because the responsibility falls on you. Okay. Any questions there? Okay, so we're on to the future of AI. What is the future? Nobody knows. All we know is that it's going to continue to get bigger, stronger, faster, and it's quite frankly going to take our place at some point in time. So what my recommendations would be is, first of all, can you guys see this future of AI? So it's interesting that it says in little past 2026 that AI is going to be starting to drive trucks. Okay, they're already driving autonomous cars right now. So by 2026, there should be AI autonomous trucks. AI is going to be able to generate a top 40 song in the middle of 2026, 2027. It's anticipated that AI will take the place of a retail salesperson by 2036. Okay. So what do we consider ourselves? I'm not really sure I'd like to call myself a salesperson, but that's a scary thought. I mean, how could it replace us? Write a New York Times bestseller, 2046. I think that's a little too far out in the future. I think that it's pretty darn close to that should be backed up maybe 20 years. And then all human tasks, brain-computer interface allows humans to augment themselves. 2060, maybe. What's that mean? That means that we could sit around on our chair with an AI headset on, and whatever we think could happen, and we just get fat drinking sugary drinks and eating bonbons watching our AI TV, and we don't have to do anything. So could that really happen? Sure, it could. Will it? I don't know. I'm not going to be around in 2060. So,
you might be, Bruce, you might be around in 2060. They're going to be using AI to manipulate how long we can live now too. So we might be 130, 140.
That's true. That's true.
With all the genome technology going on.
Yeah, totally agreed. Totally agreed. So my recommendations would be just, keep yourself up to date on the latest AI advancements and how they fit into your real estate business, right? There is so much about AI that doesn't particularly apply to our real estate business. And if we're just using it for that, I would just say, focus on that. We went through some prompt ideas and how to expand on them earlier today. And just be the creator with ChatGPT, come up with the ideas and then expand on the ideas, figure out how to expand on them, because if you can just take away one thing from this, I think it would be, create an idea or come up with something or grab a picture and then build content, right? Because that's what we are all about. And right now, in all of the white noise that we have in our real estate business, content is king, right? The more content that somebody has out there, the more eyeballs you're going to get on your content, right? And if you can always sound like you, look like you, act like you, and have your presence out there and be very consistent in all of your marketing and everything that you say, you're going to eventually get more eyeballs than somebody else. And that has to be your goal, right? That now more than ever, because it's always been that way, right? But now more than ever, with all of this AI technology out there, you need to figure out how you are going to be the one that people see and hear and listen to. And you need to, that's where the refining of the prompts come in, because you need to be seen as the market expert in whatever niche that you are trying to conquer and own, right? And with that, when people start seeing you as the expert, they're going to start following you. And that's what you want, is you want people to follow you and consistently watch your content, and then let your website chatbots determine, based on the client's reactions, where they are in the process and what kind of information that you should be supplying them, and who's more likely to convert, so that you don't have to make 100 calls to get the one to say yes. You could make 20 calls or 15 calls to get the one to say yes, right? So it's about saving time, effort, and energy. And by spending a little bit of time in building the foundation with ChatGPT, you can do that, right? It's going to keep you ahead of the curve and offer cutting edge services to your clients. So just keep it simple. Embrace, create, and do it every day, and take back your time and do less work, all while becoming your local real estate market expert, right? And I think that's the simplicity of this. If there's a way to simplify this, is just embrace it and create it and do it every day, and then expand on it. Okay. And as you do that, you'll find that you have a lot more time to do bigger and better things and focus on your 20% instead of your 80%. And that's definitely going to move you forward. All right. Any questions on that?
Bruce, I just like to make a comment because I got to run here to my meeting, but
Yeah.
I want to say that these last 3 sessions that you've put together have been so useful and so helpful. I want to see, so how long will we be able to have access to those Zoom recordings? Because, for me, I know that I've spent probably 2 or 3 hours already going through the recordings and just, building my prompts and doing some work there. And it does take some time, because I stop, play, pause, play,
Yeah.
execute,
Go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, go down the rabbit hole a little bit and realize, oh shoot, I better do some prospecting now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how long are those recordings going to be available? Are they going to be out on the mastermind site indefinitely?
Yep. They're under so you just need to go to empiremasterminds.com. on Facebook, and
Yep.
they will be under the featured tab. If you don't see the featured tab, you probably have to click the little in the upper right-hand corner, there's a join button. That just requests to join the private group, and then you have access to all the recordings, and they're up there forever.
Great.
So
Well, I really appreciate you, Bruce, on this. This has been great content. I'm going to drive people to the site to see this. I mean, it's been extremely helpful. And you're right. If we're not adopting this for our business, our competition is. So we need to make sure we're leveraging it the best we can. So thanks so much for all your efforts on this.
absolutely, and good luck with all your playing around, Bob. Thanks.
Thank you.
So here's the last slide that we have, and your last bonus prompt. So we've always been focusing on 1 year of custom newsletters. Today is how to build a content calendar. So I will take and copy this and put it in the chat so that, oops, that one didn't work. Let's try this. So let me put this in the chat. And you guys can copy and paste that. So this is the third this is the third homework assignment or bonus prompt for your custom newsletters. We've created an idea content. We have created a I'm sorry, my computer just glitched. We've created a idea content. We've created emails, and now we've got a content calendar. So if you use these, you will have an entire platform to create custom newsletters every month for your clients that you'll be able to send out. Okay. There was a couple of things in the chat. So Mercedes says, do you have to get the paid version? Is it a certain version? You don't have to get the paid version. I'm using ChatGPT 4, which is the paid version. There is ChatGPT 3.5, which is the free version. The free version will do most of this that we've been doing as well. The paid version is a lot faster. The paid version gives you a lot more in-depth questions and ideas and outputs. So there is obviously a benefit to the paid version. It's $20 a month, but you don't need that to do what we've done. Okay, so I hope that helps. I mean, I'm all about saving money. So if you want to use the free version, that is great. So that's about it. We've got 10 minutes. Anybody have any questions, any wants or needs, or ideas on how to use things? Now's the time to ask. We can play around with it and help you with some of your stuff if you're having some issues.
Hey, Bruce.
Yeah.
If you're ever like just stuck, you're not sure like how should I even prompt it? Do you have any suggestions for just like kind of getting, I don't know, just kind of getting past like a wall where you're like, you just feel stuck?
Yeah. So so where would you feel stuck? Like coming up with an idea, or
Yeah, or even sometimes how to prompt it, which your prompts have helped a ton. But just yeah, and then maybe it's just to, like you said, play around with it, and it's not like it's gonna really hurt anything, just to try stuff.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah, sometimes it's just like, I don't know where to start, which this does help a lot. But
so I think what you need to do is maybe figure out what your end game is, right? Like
Yeah.
if you want to, let's say you want to create a blog, right?
Mhm.
And blogs are kind of daunting to do, especially to do it in a professional looking manner, right? With a video
Yeah.
or some images. So if
Right.
your end game is that you want to blog, then the question would be, okay, what do you want to blog about? Right?
Right.
And then you'll have that idea, because you should at least be able to come up with that, right?
Basic,
I
right?
want to create a
Yes.
blog, and I want to create a blog about, you know, getting first-time home buyers getting pre-approved. Okay, let's just say that's your topic. So what I would do is I would go into ChatGPT and just say, I want to write a blog about first-time home buyers getting pre-approved before they go looking at houses, and why that is important. And that's really all you have to do to start, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and it'll create you a blog based on just what you asked.
Right. And then you can
And
tweak it or whatever as
yeah,
you go.
and then
Because sometimes I think I'm limited in my thought as to all the things you can ask it to do.
it's,
Like
you
there's
know
so
what,
much more that yeah.
so I've been doing this for maybe 18 months, and I was right with you. I mean, it's just, it's so big and it's so overwhelming. It's like, where do I start? How do I start? And
Right.
once you are able to get past that, and it's really just limiting right here, right?
Mhm.
Because we do it every day, right? Whoever we run into, we talk to them based on their situation, right? So it's
Yeah.
all just situational. So come up with a situation, right? Because that's your idea. Anything you
Right.
think of can be your idea, right?
Right.
Um, and if you don't know, if you're at that point where your wall is, look, I want to create a blog, I don't know what I want to create a blog about, right? I have no clue, right? Then just put it into ChatGPT and say, I want to create a blog, and I need the blog to have something to do with real estate. What are the top 5 trending topics in real estate that I could create a blog about? Right?
Right.
And it'll give you those 5 top trending topics. And then you could just pick one of those and you could say, okay, I want you to create me a blog, or initially a blog outline for this topic, and write it in my tone and style, as well as, you understand my business. So,
Right.
so you're taking that topic and you're personalizing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
so no matter, I would say, and I've learned this over the number of months that I've been doing this, is I would say, if you're stuck, tell ChatGPT where you're stuck.
Mhm.
It'll
Right.
get you over the fence, right?
Sure.
And it'll give you another idea. And then you just expand on the idea. You're going, wow, why, I should have thought about that. I knew that, right?
Right.
But it's your own personal assistant. And talk to it. The more you just talk to it, like you and I are talking right now, the better off you're going to be, and the more it's going to learn about you, because it is like your assistant, right? And you would talk to your assistant like you're talking to me, and we would chat back and forth, right?
Right.
So, if you're stuck, the initial question that you asked is, I've hit a wall. I don't know where to start with my real estate business in ChatGPT. If you just put it in there, it'll tell you where to start.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like that, but it's,
Mhm.
think of it as another human. Think of it as a really, really smart human that sometimes is drunk. Because some of the output is a little out there, right?
Sure.
But it's gonna get you where you need to be if you just ask it and talk to it like it's your personal assistant.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck with that.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Everybody else good? No questions, no comments? All right, our next week's class is EXP Explained, and Kelly, I think, and Bob will be hosting that. So same time, same place, Zoom with empiremasterminds.com, 9 a.m. Central Time. We will send out reminders as well. But I appreciate everybody that's been on this class today. And if you've taken all 3 classes or were able to, hopefully you walked away and learned something. The recordings, like Bob said, will be on our Facebook page. This one will be on later today. Worst case tomorrow morning. But there will be all of our recordings that we've done through our masterminds are going to be found on the Facebook page under the featured tab. So without further ado, I appreciate each and every one of you for spending some time with me, and I will let everybody go and get on with their day.
Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate
All
it.
right. Thanks. Have a great day.
Have a good day, Bruce.
Thanks.